Alright, for the final part of this whole review, I want to talk about the gable end wall and what we might do there, what the possibilities are, and help you to refine hopefully what your preferences there are. I'm still going to be working with the plan that showed that the triangular hot tub located south and this window preserved here. But that could always change, and it won't impact what we do at this gable end wall. This should be the final kind of thing, save the patio, etc. That still needs to be kind of re-talked about. So just ignore the patio through this series of photographs and discussion, and don't pay too much attention to the hot tub and its little window over here. For this end, these windows stay the same, but where we're talking about is what might be done either up here in the gable or with these windows right here in the center. And to that end, I want to, there are just really, they have, this manufacturer makes a window that's called a venting picture window. So you can get one big square view, one big screen inside, and then it just kind of pops out and ventilates all around the edge. Obviously that is not going to give you the same ventilation as another alternative, which is called the French casement. I talked to you about this when I was out. This is kind of a view of it. This apparently has one big screen in here. If we use the French casement, we will have to go with the 6-foot high windows instead of the 6'4", because that's its limitation. There's another couple views of that French casement from inside and outside. And now just run through these. Some of these are going to be fairly ugly, but that helps you to tell what you don't want to do for sure. For each of these different permutations, I'll be showing you 3 photos. An elevation like this, a photographic representation up close like this, and then the one that you've been used to. So there will be 3 for each one of these. This is a circle. It's really for one thing, it's the smallest circle they make, and I think it's undersized for everything. These big circles here are just so huge that it's easy for this to look kind of a little bit too dainty or something down through here. In the room, you'll never know that, so maybe it's, you have to think about just being in the room itself. I wouldn't worry too much about what it looks like from the yard. I really wouldn't. I would just, how's it going to feel inside? So I started with this little circle. I can't really push it much higher than that, though I'd like to, but you begin to push it up and you get into the ceiling rafters here. And so this is about our limitation on that. Show it to you there. And from this view, pay attention down through here for a second. And finally this view. And the only thing I thought might help a particular thing, this particular alternative with the straight circle, is kind of dividing these windows out where they're all the same size and all of these divisions are the same width. I think this helps some if you were really interested in a circle. I think this helps some. Certainly it looks better from this view than it did from that one. And then from the overview. Still, I don't know. Any window that you put up there is going to help that room feel taller and more open, but I'm not too sure about that particular permutation there. Next, I wanted to try a couple of circles, and these are, I'm less sure of these than I was of the straight circle. In any case, though, for the sake of being thorough and complete, I want to take a look at it and see if anything reasonable could be done. The reason this is done like this is because we have this, it's very difficult to get a big header across here for something big up here. So the way I've done it here is I've got my support column for the roof beam coming right up through here. We'll talk about something else here in a minute. But this is that one. I mean, up close, it just looks these look a bit narrow. And again, these things are constantly going to be at war with these giant things are going to be at war with this much more downscale piece here. And here's another, this is the same thing from that angle. And so then I said, well, maybe if I also squeeze these together a little bit and widen these ones out, and so now you have a look that's more like this. I think this one looks better than the last, better than that one. We'll flip forward quickly here so you can see. There's probably very little difference, but I think it helps some in terms of balance. I kind of like this look here. In terms of getting something up in that gable, I don't know, I haven't reviewed them one at a time for myself, but this one does not offend me. And then finally, looking at a full circle top. Now this helps some because of its scale gets a little larger, so it helps how it compares with these ones over here. If you do something like this, though, with this wide piece here, and I'm going to stop here because when you do this, well, we'll get to that in a minute. If you do something wide like this up here with no support column coming up through the middle, you will have to do something. We'll probably have to have an engineer okay this. I would be okay with this, probably put some angles down here, but we'd probably have to have an engineer okay that. So there would be some additional expense involved, but it might be worth it depending upon what appeals to you. But here's the look then from the outside, which I kind of like this one too. I really do. And I want to carry this idea forward a little bit, and if we wanted to get rid of this, we have one big view here. Then this window, this could become one of these fixed venting picture units that I spoke about briefly at the beginning of the film. That's the look of it there, and up close. And again, I'm still showing this 4-panel slider to the master bedroom. That hasn't really been finalized and decided, but that's what I'm showing. A nice big open look. It almost gets a little large compared to some of these small ones here, but I think that's fine because of where it's fronting, etc. But you'll have to review these a little bit at a time and see what feels right and what goes in the trash. Finally, I skinny that down a little bit here and widen these ones out. This is going to be a 48-inch wide here, and then these are each 40. They actually make a 40-inch casement. Full height, 6'4". Up close, and I know this is going to be dauntingly confusing, but I will send you the photos and you can page through them a piece at a time. And the last from overhead. So I think, yes, I think that would end our little review here. And I think what I will do is add one more piece to this film. Okay, the final part is just a review of what I just talked about, just a little more simplistically, just with a single view. Look at these. This is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Overhead, the same thing again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G.